Brisbane is the hub of Queensland's music, with more gigs and more recordings happening here than anywhere else in the state. Despite this though, Brisbane seems to be at the receiving end of major criticism. I decided to get to the root of this issue and talk to the people who know more.
I talked to two bands, Rabbit and Arcade May, and Gonzalo Rodrino, who is in charge of Brisbane youth music industries. I spoke to Gonzalo first to find out about the scene at an industry level.
Gonzalo.
Alright, and what do you do?
I'm a musician in Brisbane, and I'm in an organisation called Youth Music Industries.
What does Youth Music Industries do throughout Brisbane?
Youth Music Industries is run festivals and monthly concerts and also workshops and conferences for young people, trying to educate the young people as much as they can about the music industry in Brisbane and the music industry in general, and I guess just the different opportunities that there are available to work in the music industry.
What is your opinion of the Brisbane music scene as opposed to other cities?
I think especially now the Brisbane music scene is a lot better than people make it out to be. People pay it out because there's not really any live venues, but I think not having many live venues can be a benefit because it means more people come to your shows, whereas I've heard that like in Sydney or Melbourne there's a lot of pubs and clubs that a lot of bands can play out any day of the week, and I feel like that kind of diminishes the importance of a live show, whereas here if you're playing a live show you can really promote it and people that want to see music will go to it because there's not many other places to go to.
So I've heard firsthand from someone who works in the industry that our local music scene doesn't deserve the criticism it receives. However, I wondered if the band's perspectives would give me a different opinion.
We moved to Brisbane in 2011, so we've been playing here for about 2 years.
And yeah, we're a three-piece of dynamic fury.
Been here since February.
Who are your major influences? Are there any local Brisbane bands that really affect your music?
There are local bands that we look up to because we grew up with them, and run down the street to an Arcade Made concert or a Penguin Kings concert. And I think that had a pretty profound effect on wanting to do music, I guess, because they moved here. I was like, yeah, I want to do the same thing.
There's a lot of good local bands, like Vinny and I went and saw Big Scary a couple of weeks ago, and I think out of all the Australian bands we can really relate our sound to. I think that kind of mellow but still rocky kind of sound, we like them. They're really cool. So.
What was it like starting out as a band in Brisbane?
It's hard. It's hard for a while because we had no idea what we were doing coming to Brisbane. But you start to make connections and get a hang of where, what venues will take you.
Well, we're in that process right now, so I can remember it like it was yesterday. It's going pretty well so far. We played a show in a record store on April 20th of the Record Store Day, and people clapped after every song, so that was.
It was tricky going from Bundaberg that has little to no scene for that kind of music to Brisbane where there's quite a few bands who are all trying to be the best at what they do.
So what do you think of the Brisbane music industry overall?
I've heard a lot of bad things said about the Brisbane music scene. Well, not bad things, but they're just it's not as good as Melbourne or it's not as good as Sydney.
It's really good.
It's really good, and it's getting better all the time. Hey.
Yeah. It really is.
There's a lot of options here.
There's a lot of options here.
Different places.
Yeah.
That you go for different music, which is good for us.
Yeah.
There are good Brisbane bands out there. The ones that are doing really well are probably the cream of the crop, like the bands like Millions and June Rats and Gung Ho and stuff. Those are kind of the local ones that I dig.
Yeah.
Despite the criticism, Brisbane has proven to be the rising powerhouse of talent and potential that puts Queensland in the spotlight for Australian music. Brisbane, the capital of Queensland. Brisbane, the capital of new music.